Welcome to today's session of Chalk Talk, when, where, and how to use 10 gig Ethernet. I'm Corey with the Networking and Telecommunications Group. So you've begun thinking that 10 gig is a worthwhile technology for your business, but it's actually a more complicated conversation than just dropping in a few switches and some faster lines. Let's say, for example, that your current infrastructure is built on legacy technology, such as fast or 1 gig Ethernet. Certainly, 10 gig will add bandwidth, but it may not necessarily be exactly what you need to give your business flows the green light that you're looking for. You also need to take into consideration the actual physical resources on your infrastructure. So let's say you're using fast Ethernet here, or perhaps you're using 1 gig here. If your network is this highway, 10 gig will definitely add some lanes and get your frames and packets from their source to their destination much quicker. But if your switches don't have the buffers or the backplane, it's like having a 1-lane off-ramp. You're going to get a traffic jam coming off of the highway. So what HP has done in all of its 10 gig switches has ensured that there's enough resources on the switch, there's enough buffer, there's enough ingress and egress backplane, there's enough lanes on your on and off ramps to actually get those packets, to get those datagrams off the highway and to its destination without any drops, any loss, or anything like that. This slide represents introducing 10 gig into your data center. So let's say over here you've got users, but you don't know how to get these enhanced services to your users. Sure, the communication between your server nodes and your storage nodes is much faster because you've introduced 10 gig. You've got a lot of traffic moving over here, but your users still aren't getting any benefit to the speed these applications can go at now because you only have 1 gig or a few 1 gig lines aggregated to get that traffic over here. But let's say you need to make these network upgrades, but maybe you don't have the CapEx to do it right now. You should consider looking at hardware that will give you the scalability and the future-proofing that you can add lanes between these segments down the road. One thing HP has done, particularly in its popular family of switches, the 2900, is to make this switch available now in 1 gig. Say you need to make your updates now, you need to upgrade now, but you don't have the budget for it. You can utilize your CapEx for this 1 gig infrastructure and then add your 10 gig modules down the road and add some lanes to your infrastructure. So typically what I see is the 10 gig conversation starts in the data center. Heavy virtualization and increased east-west traffic between storage and virtual host servers demand switches that can handle the traffic, that switches that have the bandwidth to get your data from point A to point B and back again very quickly so that you don't have any downtime and so that you don't lose any backup jobs, for example. But like we've been saying before, it's a more complicated conversation than just what switch should I buy and what category of cable should I get. So I typically recommend starting with a network assessment. So we can look at your port and NIC utilization. We can look at performance monitoring markers. And then that way, we can give you the peace of mind that you're getting the hardware and getting the technology that you need for business continuity. And this conversation all starts with a call to PC connection. So if you've liked the information you've gotten today and you want to know more, please go to pcconnection/HPN Chalk Talk. Thanks for your time and have a great day.